Hello and welcome to this Speedpaint video. Today is 23rd of December, which means that Christmas is soon upon us, and therefore I thought I would make a little Christmas drawing. So this drawing started as something completely different. I thought I would make another drawing with a girl and a wolf, but I wasn't really feeling it and I wasn't really figuring out how I was gonna make this wolf eat the girl in a nice and aesthetic way. So I decided to keep the girl but change the setting and change the story behind it. So what I decided to make was this kind of a creepy creature in the window peeking through. And you might be thinking, this is not a very Christmassy drawing. This does not fit Christmas at all. This is more Halloween. But it actually is a Christmas drawing, and I will tell you why. So in Icelandic folklore, you have this troll lady that lives on the mountains, and she's actually the mother of the 13 Santas that we have there. And the Santas come 13 days before Christmas and give you a little gift in your shoe that you put by your window. But their mom, named Grýla, the one that I'm drawing in this drawing, she's not as nice and she eats naughty children. So that's what I decided to draw for this Christmas drawing. For the girl in the drawing, I actually used one of the initial sketches that I made for my little character that I did for this channel. So that's why she might look a little bit similar. But the reason for that is that I was lazy and I didn't want to create a new character when I was designing the wolf concept idea. So she just got to stay in here, and that's why she might look a little bit similar. Here I'm doing very lazy line art. It's barely line art at all because I'm going to be covering it with darker colors anyway and you're not going to see it all that much. So I didn't really, do it all that well. I decided to not make line art for the hair because I rarely do and I hate making hair line art, so I just avoid it completely. Then I actually started with the darkest shade for her face and then I went with the lighter shades afterwards, which I never do. But I thought it would give this more dramatic lighting effect, so that's why I did that. Also, during the shading process, I tried to avoid making very harsh or very light highlights, which I usually make a lot and it's my favorite part of the process. But since this is supposed to be a more grungy, dark drawing, I try to avoid all these nice little highlights that I tend to do. Then I started coloring Grýla. I took a lot of creative liberties when it comes to her because I really wanted to make her my own. So that's why I started by making her blue, because it's supposed to be cold, you know, it's winter time on Iceland. But then I turned her more green in the end because I thought green would suit her more and make her look more like a witch or like a troll lady, right? And yeah, you're making the rest of her face or shading it. And this is where she kind of comes together. And here I'm also taking a lot of creative liberties. This is not how she is or how she looks traditionally. I gave her a very huge smile, for example. And I wanted to give her stitches in her smile, which is very untraditional. I have not seen anyone do that with a Grýla design. But I did keep like this long kind of witch nose, which she is usually illustrated with. Grýla is like hundreds of years old, so I gave her a whole lot of wrinkles. I also decided to give her these long bottom teeth, which I hoped would make her look a little bit more spooky. And then here I start shading or highlighting the fleshy bitch in her mouth before I give her some more wrinkles around the mouth, because I wanted to look like she is very like stretched out. And after I made all these wrinkles, I decided to make the stitches in her mouth, which don't really make sense lore-wise or anything. So I kind of regret making these. It was kind of unnecessary and doesn't make any sense. And then she got some hair. Originally I thought I would give her braids to give her more of my twist on it, but I decided to give her this loose, messy hair to make her look older. I thought the braids was a little bit too youthful for her. And then she also gets some gray hairs because she is incredibly old. I changed her skin tone to a bit more of a gray color instead of the green to make her look a little bit more natural. And then I gave her horns to make her look even more like the troll lady that she is. Then I started making the highlights. I decided on orange because I thought it would pop the most from the drawing, or it's like orangey yellow really. Then I just worked a little bit with that, made some highlights, made it look nice before I went for the girl's eyes. She gets green eyes to match all the greens in the drawing. I thought it would fit the most, and I also gave her a little orange dot in the eye, just for fun. And then I realized that it wasn't gonna look Christmassy to anyone else but me, so I decided to make it a bit more Christmassy by adding in a little Christmas tree and then also some Christmas ornaments to kind of highlight that this is Christmas. And in the end, I also decided to draw the shoe that you usually put in the window. So I added that shoe, and then you get gifts usually. So I started by adding gifts, but then I realized that she's naughty, otherwise Grýla wouldn't be there. So when you're naughty on Iceland, you get either a potato or a coal bit. So I gave her a potato in the shoe, and that is it for the drawing. So here's the final result. I'm actually really happy with it, especially how Grýla turned out. And it really inspired me to maybe make some more spookier drawings in the future. So here's a little close-up of Grýla, and then here's a little close-up of the girl, and that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you again next week. Goodbye.